The FBI discovered a tunnel this morning that the rapper had made in his home, connected to the basement of a former Michael Jackson home.
There is an underground mansion.
The officers found strange items on the floor, such as children's clothing.
Actually terrifying to know that this exists.
It's uncovered tunnels underneath his house.
Diddy's?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Christian Combs revealed what happened in Diddy's mansion tunnels and said he was invited to the freak-offs. New footage of them at 1 was shown in court.
We're seeing a new glimpse into the raids of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles home. The mother of Diddy's son recently released this footage to her Instagram page as she slammed federal agents, accusing them of using militarized force against her son. Misa Hilton, the mother of Diddy's son Justin Combs, posted the sped-up surveillance video of last Monday's raids as agents with Homeland Security descended upon Diddy's reported $40 million LA home. In the first few seconds of the clip, you can see armored tanks arrive outside the home. Then agents with their guns drawn open one of the cars parked in the driveway. The video then highlights one particular agent who notices the home's security camera. He points the camera toward the ground. Once inside the home, federal agents can be seen using a drone. Then the video shows Diddy's son Christian with his hands in the air, pressed against the wall, then handcuffed. Diddy's son Justin then appears with his hands on his head. The agents then appear to take him down a hallway. The release clip ends with what appears to be another man who is dragged out of the home and on the driveway by agents. Photos of the aftermath show Diddy's sons Christian and Justin on the lawn of the LA home while agents seemingly continued their search. Justin Combs' mom released a statement along with the video slamming the federal agents for the way they handled the raid. The statement reads, quote, "The overzealous and overtly militarized force used against my sons Justin and Christian is deplorable. If these were the sons of a non-black celebrity, they would have not been handled with the same aggression."
The FBI confirmed Diddy's son Christian was found in a hidden tunnel during the 2024 raid. The tunnel, under Diddy's bedroom carpet, reportedly links to the Playboy Mansion tunnels built in the 1970s.
The FBI found a tunnel this morning at the mansion of famous rapper Diddy in Los Angeles, Part 2. After receiving an anonymous tip from neighbors, agents rushed to the scene. During their search, they uncovered a tunnel beneath the carpet in Diddy's bedroom. Despite the family's pleas not to enter, the officers hesitated but ultimately decided to go in. The tunnel looked freshly dug, with wet dirt on the walls and trash scattered around. As they ventured deeper, the narrow space suddenly opened up to reveal 6 locked rooms. The agents couldn't access these rooms, and even more bizarrely, they found multiple intersections ahead in the tunnel. For safety, the agents called for backup and split up to investigate further. What they discovered was shocking. A tunnel connecting to the infamous Playboy Mansion, along with others leading to several Hollywood celebrities' homes. As the agents delved deeper, they quickly surrounded these residences.
Guys, they found underground tunnels at Diddy's homes. This was first brought up by Shadow of Ezra, where he talked about the underground tunnels in Diddy's luxurious Los Angeles mansion. It was an underwater swimming tunnel leading to a mysterious grotto, reminiscent of an ancient and modern human use of caves. Now, this is all alleged, of course, but they say that this tunnel connects to the Playboy Mansion. You guys remember that? Hugh Hefner, the guy who lived with all those women in his mansion? There's no available evidence right now. However, reports are noting that Combs' mansions do have a pool with an underwater swimming tunnel. They say it's not connected to the Playboy Mansion, but there is a reason why the Playboy Mansion keeps coming up. 10 years ago, they were building underground tunnels to the Playboy Mansion for people like Jack Nicholson for his birthday. So this way, they don't have to go through the outside, but go underground in secret to the Playboy Mansion to do God knows what. You can see the sketches here of these underground tunnels being built. They were working on it, and it was supposed to connect celebrities like Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, Michael Jackson, just to name a few. As reported by People magazine, these underground tunnels to the Playboy Mansion were sealed off in the 1980s. The question is, do you believe that? Stay safe and be smart.
Diddy's homes were raided in March 2024, but he wasn't arrested until September. Leaks suggest he escaped through underground tunnels in his Miami mansion, and TMZ claims his LA mansion had an underwater tunnel connecting buildings.
Like the media and everyone is trying to say, no, there's no connection. Well, have you guys even figured out if there's a connection yet? I feel like authorities are so stuck in time in the past where like they say, oh, don't look into this, don't investigate this, these claims aren't real. But then we see social media sleuths put together these stories and solve investigations. I'm not saying the authorities aren't smart people, they can figure it out, but sometimes the help from the public can lead to, us actually figuring out the truth. But do the authorities want the truth? It really matters who's at the top and who they're trying to protect. Another conspiracy theory that circulated at the time of the raids was that Diddy escaped through an underground tunnel. I do believe he has an escape route planned when it comes to his Miami property because he can easily access the Bahamas through a boat. When it comes to his LA property, he might have a backup plan, which kind of explains these tunnels.
In case you're wondering where Diddy hosted these parties, specifically the parties that took place underground, I was absolutely shocked to find out that there is an underground mansion with tennis courts, indoor pools, marble everything, a literal ballroom. And this checks out because Ali Carter was talking about this underground ballroom. Like, actually, imagine being 5 floors beneath the surface. Willing to bet there's no cell service. What are you gonna do? Scream? Run? Where are you gonna go? Actually terrifying to know that this exists. Like, just want to play tennis in my underground mansion. I have no words. It's crazy.
I can't imagine this being real because it seems so dystopian. Per news reports in March 2024, Diddy's properties in LA and in Miami were raided by Homeland Security. Diddy's LA mansion was located in the upscale neighborhood of Holby Hills, the same neighborhood as the Playboy Mansion. However, there is no known underground tunnel connecting the two, according to this report. People reported that the Playboy Mansion was rumored to have a series of underground tunnels that connected the mansion to other homes in the area. However, one staff member told the site that the tunnels were closed up in sometime in 1989. And I don't know why celebrities are so scared to acknowledge these tunnels. I feel like, oh yeah, there's underground tunnels.
Footage of Christian at a freak-off in one of the tunnels was shown in Lil Rod's lawsuit. Like his father, Christian is also facing a sexual assault lawsuit. A 26-year-old stewardess, Grace Omar, claims he drugged and groped her at one of Diddy's yacht parties.
In 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure Omarki to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. Omarki alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas. Omarki reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." Omarki then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time, so this was a way for her to get out of the situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." Omarki then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." Omarki says that she tried to go back to her work, but Christian found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night. So she ended up taking him to the cinema room for the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone came in.
Diddy allegedly groomed his adopted son Quincy, showing that not even family was off limits. Industry insiders suspected something was off, but few knew how serious it was. Artist Freddie P claims he witnessed disturbing behavior between Diddy and Quincy, saying the grooming began when Quincy was a child.
To know, like, why were you so infatuated with a child that wasn't yours? Were you grooming that little boy? I don't even want to start those conversations because that's not your child. You know what I'm saying? And for you to keep him that close, it's like you kept him that close because he might got your secrets because he's not your child. So if he's not your child and you that type of person with that type of character, you don't mind actually doing it to him when he finally reaches a certain age because he's not yours. And you know in your mind he's not yours. And now you keep him real close to you. You make sure he don't go to his daddy. Why? You make sure he's separated with him. And you provide him with everything he wants. Why? You got one of them little Michael Jackson secrets. He got one of them secrets that he can't tell nobody because his legacy, his manhood gonna be, and not only that, his brother no gonna look at him crazy. Only Puffy know, only God and Puffy.
You're talking about Quincy, right?
I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, I don't know.
I'll be sure, son.
All I'm gonna say is, who's infatuated with another man's son like that? Like that seemed like grooming to me. I got, oh, that's his daughter's brothers. Get the fuck out of here, huh?
Diddy has also faced claims of being inappropriate with his mother, calling her sexy, kissing her on the lips, and in a 2022 clip, joking about her twerking in a strip club while smoking with her.
Yeah, my mom's gorgeous. Let me introduce you to my mom, called Ma Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Ma?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
My baby.
Ma, freshly dipped though. I was just trying to show you a shoe. Yeah, my mom's is single. Mom's is single. I ain't gonna hate on my mom's. She's single. Me and my mom talked about one time doing a dating show with her. And she's so picky. She's so picky, they don't stand. But yeah, that'd be the funniest show in the world.
It will be, especially with me.
I don't even want to get started if she was doing that. We're not doing that. But yeah, my mom's single. Yeah, for real. Mom do know how to have a good time. She ain't sitting in the house playing. They outside moving and shaking, baby. She come with me to strip club. I don't care. For real. It's my dog. You know, I want to live life. Be out here moving and grooving. So my mom told me, she just said, keep moving, baby.
That's right.
Keep moving.
Don't stop.
She could touch the floor with her palms. You know? Flat. Oh! Take pew, pew, pew.
Court filings reveal Diddy used his son Justin to help set up freak photos show Justin at one party, and he's accused of helping recruit ex-workers. He's also been linked to covering up evidence, reportedly the one who warned Diddy about Cassie's assault video.
For his involvement in an alleged shooting cover-up. According to court documents, it happened on September 12, 2022, outside Diddy's Chalice Studios. Lil Rod says Diddy, his son Justin, and Justin's friend who went by G were all there when things got heated. Lil Rod says he heard multiple gunshots ring out and later found G on the bathroom floor in the fetal position. Lil Rod says he was bleeding out of his hip and leg area. Lil Rod says he was applying pressure to G's wounds and then asked the crowd to call an ambulance. At that point, both Diddy and Justin Combs disappeared to another part of the studio. Diddy then gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. So that specific allegation involves Diddy's son Justin, but another allegation and entirely separate civil lawsuit involves his other son Christian, or King Combs. Grace Omar K alleges that Christian Combs sexually assaulted her on a yacht in December 2022, and she says it was facilitated by Diddy.
Here is the other thing with Mr. Burgess. He apparently says he owns the rights to a book that was reportedly based on the alleged memoir of Kim Porter. In fact, according to TMZ, Burgess' phone was seized by the feds, and on it was a copy of a flash drive with material that was used in this book. Here's the problem. Christian and Quincy Combs, these are the sons of Diddy and Kim Porter. Quincy's actually adopted by Diddy. But they are reportedly fighting back, and they have sent Burgess a cease and desist letter to prevent the further sale of this book. They argue this is just an attempt to capitalize on Porter's fame and that they own the rights to her IP, her intellectual property, like her diary entries, her potential manuscript. As her heirs, they own it. And they also want an accounting of current sales of the book. To be clear, though, they aren't acknowledging that there is, in fact, a long-lost memoir from their mother. In fact, they've actually denied that before when there was a similar book, a derivative work, we'll talk about that, published by this guy named Chris Todd on Amazon. They were adamantly fighting against that. They said that their mother wouldn't write this. But what they're basically saying is if something should exist, they own it.
Mia, Diddy's former assistant, gave shocking testimony about life inside his mansion. She described a disturbing environment ruled by fear, control, and psychological manipulation, saying Diddy used fear to dominate everyone around him.
Her was treacherous. She knew everything. She knew all about the drugs, the money, the Cassie, D-Rock involvement, and what he used to do. But the thing that was so crazy about it is that she said that Puff used to rip her repeatedly, damn near anytime he wanted to, all the time. Like several times she was ripped by him. It seemed like she had the jury crying. She was ripped by Puff, bruh. Now, what I know that in some states, they do just like they do murder. In New York City, because in the States, you gotta realize the time that you could be charged with rape in most states is from 3 to 30 years. But there are 13 states that do the rape case just like it's murder. That there's no time limit on when you say or you come out and say somebody raped you. You understand what I'm saying? And New York State is one of them. So I was wondering, did she ever get raped in New York? Because if she did by Puff, the state could bring up that charges against them.
The trial is intensifying. Just yesterday, the judge threatened to remove Diddy for trying to communicate with the jury. Reports also claim one juror may already be compromised.
Some breaking news. This is involving the Sean Combs trial. Senior national correspondent Laura Ingle is standing by with legal analyst Misty Maris. And Laura, you are learning Combs could potentially be removed from his trial and not allowed in the courtroom. What can you tell us?
That's right, Nicole. This has just happened in the last few minutes, and this would be a huge development if he is removed for the rest of the trial. And what has happened here, as we are going through the cross-examination of one of Cassie Ventura's friends, who we've been telling you about, Brianna, who has been on the stand, Sean Combs has been, according to the judge, vigorously nodding during some of this cross, engaging with jurors, or at least appearing that he's trying to, looking at jurors. That is not allowed. And as you mentioned, legal analyst Misty Maris is here. I'm just going to scoot her in. This is breaking news, so we're just bringing her right in because we're here at the courthouse together. You just came over to tell me what the judge said. Explain to us what this means.
Yeah, so this was huge because what the judge admonished the defense team, saying that Combs had been engaging with the jury, meaning that he's making direct eye contact with the jury and having a reaction, nodding his head. The judge said this is jury interference. It's to influence the jury, and actually referenced that the defense was warned not only today during Bongolin's testimony, but also had been warned previously during the testimony of George Kaplan. So this feeds into a federal rule which relates to disruptive conduct by the defendant in the courtroom. And the rule says that if somebody is warned by the judge, the defendant is warned, but the conduct continues, one of the consequences could be removal from the courtroom for the remainder of the trial. And Laura, that is of huge consequence to the defense.
Yeah, and all along we've been seeing Sean Combs, passing notes, and that's allowed with his defense. He's been very active. He's been paying attention, and we have heard of him nodding along during some of the testimony, but this is something different.
Correct. So engagement with your attorneys, passing notes during testimony, even being a bit reactive to witness testimony, looking at the witness and perhaps having a reaction and looking engaged, all fine. It's when it comes down to engagement with jurors and something that could tend to influence them in some way. And what the court looks at is their influence or intimidation. Is that what the defendant is doing, and could it have that impact? So here the judge was taking a very strong stance. And keep in mind, from the defense perspective, that would be the most severe consequence, removal from the courtroom, because every defendant has the right to face their accusers.
Juror number 6 was exposed for lying about his identity and background. Many suspected this might happen. Diddy can't hide the evidence, but with enough money, he might sway the jury to avoid prison.
Diddy Juror 6 gave multiple inconsistent statements. The judge was going over his issues with juror number 6, and although he did not make a final determination, his thoughts on juror number 6 being removed were pretty clear. He stated that in the initial process, juror number 6 said that he lived in the Bronx with his fiance and his daughter. Then he turned around a while later and said that he moved to New Jersey with his girlfriend, and also said that his daughter lived in New Jersey. But then it changed again and said that his daughter lived in the Bronx with his aunt. And he referenced that this was only a couple of the inconsistent statements, that there were more. The judge then stated that he wants this juror off the jury because there is no reason why this man would have to lie, and the only reason he would lie is to be a part of the Diddy trial, which made him worry that this juror might have a malicious intent or an agenda. But then after the judge said that we need to strike this juror off of the jury, Diddy's team started bringing up more arguments about this. Diddy's lawyer said that this juror is important because they need diversity, and he is only one of 4 black men that sit on the jury. He also said that he doesn't believe that these inconsistencies were that big of a deal where this juror would have to be removed. Diddy's team was arguing that this is something that should have been brought up weeks ago, and nobody brought this up, and the government is saying, listen, I didn't even know about this back then. Then Diddy's lawyer said something really, really weird. They said, just bring this juror in, just question him. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure he'll be able to explain. But this is what the government wanted the judge to do earlier, and Diddy's lawyer said, no. That would be harassing the juror. Then the judge told everybody to get out of the courtroom, that they needed to have a sealed talk.
With disturbing rumors piling up, Diddy's career is likely over even if he gets out. His lawyers have already requested 2 mistrials and are pushing for a 3rd. That's why juror number 6 was planted. If they prove jury tampering, the case could be dismissed, and Diddy might walk free despite it all.
Sean Diddy Combs' team is once again asking a judge to declare a mistrial in his sex trafficking and racketeering case. Defense attorneys claim prosecutors presented false evidence alleging Combs dangled a woman from a balcony in Los Angeles in 2016, saying that they can prove he was in New York City at the time. Let's bring in ABC News legal contributor Bernardo Villalona to break this all down. Thanks so much for being with us. Diddy's team claims that the woman committed perjury on the witness stand, and that's why they were asking for a mistrial. What do you make of this move?
Yeah, so I was in the courtroom when this witness was testifying, and when the defense attorney, Ms. Westmoreland, confronted this witness with the travel arrangements where Sean Combs was in a different state when she alleged that she was dangled over this balcony. So in terms of what the defense is trying to do, they're trying to prevent a miscarriage of justice. They are asking the judge to step in and not to wait and see what a jury would do, because now they've shown a pattern of prosecutorial misconduct by this prosecutor. Number one, with the insinuation that Sean Combs has something to do with paying off LAPD to get rid of evidence, and now with condoning this perjured testimony. So yes, they're asking for the judge to step in now and make a decision, and not to wait to see what a jury would do. Also to remember that they're doing this now because they are doing 2 things. They're also trying the case in front of a jury, but if there is a conviction, they want to make sure that they have brought this issue up before this judge, so that way an appellate court can review this decision.
Okay, thank you for explaining that context there. And prosecutors, they are expected to respond to the mistrial request before court resumes tomorrow. What do you anticipate will happen?
So on this specific issue, I think the judge is going to deny the defense's request for a mistrial. The reason being because they're dealing with something having to deal with the credibility of a witness. The jury is the finder of fact. They are the ones that determine the credibility of witnesses. So that being the case, the judge is going to say that it's up to the jury to determine the witness's credibility, that being of Cassie Ventura, and also of this witness that supposedly gave perjured testimony. So they're going to leave it. The judge is going to let the jury to decide and going to deny the defense's request.
evidence linked to Diddy tapes photos, even fingerprints has a history of vanishing. In the arson case where Kid Cudi's car exploded, fingerprints were found but mysteriously destroyed before identification. Another coincidence, or something more?
Court has adjourned today in the sex trafficking and racketeering trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Today, the defense requested a mistrial following testimony from an LA arson investigator, but the judge denied the request. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
A mistrial request denied in the federal criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. His defense team accusing the government of prosecutorial misconduct during the testimony of a Los Angeles arson investigator who spoke about fingerprints that were lifted from the front door of rapper Kid Cudi's home as part of an investigation into a break-in there in 2011. The investigator testifying that those fingerprints were destroyed, and when prosecutors asked the investigator if that was unusual, the defense accused them of trying to plant the idea that Combs was responsible.
The overall implication, according to the defense, is that somehow Sean Combs created that disappearance. The defense moved for a mistrial, and they moved for it because what they said is it's unduly prejudiced, because this is the whole theory of what the prosecution is putting forth, is that he has this control and can make these investigations disappear.
Instead, the judge striking that part of the testimony, telling jurors to disregard it. Right before, the jury heard from a police officer who responded to that break-in, testifying that he saw a black Escalade leaving the scene with plates registered to Combs' company Bad Boy Productions. The arson investigator also testifying about another incident at Kid Cudi's home in 2012 when his Porsche was set on fire. He testified about the smoke and fire damage in these photos that were shown to the jury and said he determined the fire was targeted and started with a Molotov cocktail. Kid Cudi last week testified he believed Combs was responsible for both incidents after finding out he was dating Cassie Ventura.
For the first time in years, real evidence is surfacing against Diddy. Photos from the day of his arrest show Combs' hotel room filled with drugs, baby oil, and guns.
Also tonight, our first look inside Combs' Miami mansion, the day federal agents busted the gate open last year to raid it. A federal agent testifying about the evidence, guns and ammo seized from Diddy's home that were found near alleged freak-off supplies, which included dozens of bottles of baby oil and boxes of platform heels, bondage restraints, and bundles of rope. Also photographed as evidence that day, motivational messages on Combs' bathroom mirror that included "You a legend" and "Upward motion," and drugs. Lots of drugs, including ones found in plastic bags inside a Gucci bag, and orange tablets with the Tesla logo that tested positive for
If Diddy walks, it's not innocence, it's influence. The truth is out, and no tunnel can hide him. This trial exposes not just Diddy, but the whole industry. Can justice win when the system's bought? Drop your thoughts, like and subscribe.